What's good, y'all? It's Max Malden, and today I'm going to be breaking down my Free Your Mind remix. This remix just hit 50K on SoundCloud, got supported by a bunch of DJs, and yeah, I'm going to show y'all and break down this little breakbeat remix I did. Alright, so first off, when you're remixing a track, I always like to separate the stems. FL has like one of the best stem extractors, I swear. The vocals and everything, I just did the stem extraction. Oh, how I love you. So got those extracted, and the original song has this organ. And I actually just chopped up the first part and kept it like that. Second part of the organ, it just changed up the bass line to a note I didn't really like. It worked with the rest of the vocals. It's honestly not even that noticeable, but I added some more texture to it. I have this preset from Zebra. Let's see what it's called. It's called Shutdown. I use this thing all the time. Just alien acid sounds to have in the background. The actual acid sound I used was from Analog Lab. And these both just follow this organ sound. Super simple, nothing crazy. I originally was trying to use the original bass line and everything, but just too complicated, didn't really work that well with the breakbeat sound. So ended up going with the simple chords, just use the root notes. I come from hip hop, so I program all my drum sounds most of the time. I got a few drum loops that I use just to like add more texture, make it sound more like house, but I program each of these individually. Snuko put me onto this. Snuko put me onto a lot of these when it comes to the breakbeat, but you layer the clap with a vocal. And that just kind of, it helps balance out the clap a little. The clap can get a little bit repetitive, especially when you don't have to 4 on the floor. Everything else is pretty simple for the intro and outro. I go 4 on the floor, so that way it's easier to mix in with house tracks. And all the percussion's the exact same. I literally just put 4 on the floor. Then I went to the breakbeat style, obviously, for the drop. When it comes to the drop, the bass that everyone wants to know, this is labeled incorrectly, but this bass I have available in my free sample kit. I'll link it down below. This is what it sounds like. And what I actually did in FL, I turned up this out knob. So usually it's like this. Just goes on forever. But I turned up the out knobs, then that way it's a little shorter. And yeah, this is a two sound bass line. So I have, and that's just playing along with the kick. And to complement that, I got this other bass. And this is what all the drop percussion sounds like together with the bass. So what I did for the drop, honestly, I made this before the song started going crazy viral. I probably wouldn't have done the gate just because you get the build up and everyone wants to sing the "My love is what you'll find." It's everyone's favorite part. It is what it is. I feel like the gate still sounds hard. It's just hard to sing along with. But what I did was I just threw a gate on there through Gross Beat. I obviously bounced it out here, but the original vocal obviously is like this. And what I did was I just put a gate on it. And I went back to the original vocal later on in the drop, but this is what it sounds like if it was just the original. Like, that's hard, but it's a little bit busy. I feel like the gated kind of helps the bass still have, like, take center stage, if that makes sense. The bass just cuts through so much harder with that. And obviously I have all these sidechained as well. I don't even use Kickstart, bro. Like, I straight up just use the regular FL Fruity Limiter and just sidechain it through there. Yeah, like, this is all made with like free plugins, I guess, except for like Analog Lab and stuff like that, but it's all pretty simple. What I like doing for these breakbeat songs, especially if I want them to get played out by these bigger DJs, is I like, you know, still making them have that house feel. So it's like the 4 on the floor in the intro, the thing that I kind of talked about. What I also do is I have this like super simple the most basic house hi-hat loop ever. I always make sure to bring those in like the second half of the drop. This is that gated vocal just pitched down an octave. For the effects, it's all pretty simple, like basic riser. I think this is from Splice. The downlifter on the drop. This riser I love using. I have a lot of these perks in my sample kit. Snare roll. That's just typical breakbeat stuff. I have like kind of like the Kadima Brazilian funk effect. I think another important part of the breakbeat stuff is just to like be very selective about where you're putting certain percussion elements of it. Like again, like for this drop, because the gated vocal and the bass line are so heavy, I take out a lot of the percussion for the drop. Like it's just very basic, but I bring it back in. So you just kind of want to be selective about that type of stuff. Again, the 4 on the floor in the intro and outro, I think is something that I've just realized, even DJing myself, makes it way easier to mix in and out of. A lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to tech house, is literally just sound selection. You have the original organ from the original song and the vocals from the original song, but everything I added, literally just 2 notes, and it's just about finding the right sound selection. You know what? That's like what's most important with this type of stuff. But yeah, if you guys have any specific production questions about this, comment below. I'll make sure to break down some more of my remixes and tunes in the future, just because this breakbeat style is kind of taking over for right now. But yeah, I'm putting together another kit with a bunch of different sounds, presets, stuff like that for this breakbeat tech house type sound. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. But for right now, go ahead and check out my free 100% free drum kit. It's down below. It's small, but it's got a lot of the essentials. Yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.